Hi. Well, I'm super excited to be here, and I love it when Dress for Success comes because it always gives me an excuse. Some days I come wearing jeans, but when Dress for Success comes, it always gives me the impetus that I need to up my game. And so I got my party shoes out for today, and I'm super excited because now that I see how some of the ladies are dressed, I'm glad that I didn't get shown up. My name is Kimberly McQuarrie, and I am the Director of Programming and the co-director of the Innovation Labs here. And as the Director of Programming, one of the things that I do is I consider what are the things that we as a community are really passionate about. And here in Women's History Month, what I thought we might get passionate about was realizing that women's history is not just about people who are in books, not just about stories that happened 10 years ago, 50 years ago, 100 years ago, that women's history is being written now as we're living it. And Dress for Success of Tampa Bay has been an important part in the history of many women in the area. And I think we're in a unique opportunity this month to be able to really celebrate some of the success stories and to celebrate together women's history as it's happening in 2023, right here in the Tampa Bay area. And I'm especially inspired always by Katie, who I have known. I've been in this job for 5 years. And Katie and I have worked together since my very first year, which was back in 2018. We run a program here that's called the Women's Empowerment Program. And what we do, and this is my other hat that I wear, not the programming hat, but the Innovation Labs hat, where I work with a lot of businesses and organizations, teaching them about creativity and innovation. But creative problem solving isn't just for businesses that want to make better products or better services. Creative problem solving is about how do we all face the challenges that we have in our lives in new ways and in better ways that help improve us and help improve the people around us. And so Katie, of course, is a visionary, and she saw right away how this could be of benefit to the clients at Dress for Success. And so we've worked together over the past few years and putting on some of those workshops. So I'm really excited about hearing these stories, and I would love to introduce the board president, Laurel Jones, who's going to be taking over. Thank you.
Well, good evening and welcome, welcome, welcome. I want to thank Dr. Kim for allowing us to have this opportunity to come together. And I'm an accountant, but I appreciate history. And this is an opportunity to bring history to life, right? The women that you'll hear from, they are living history. And I think that's an amazing thing. So thank you for allowing us to be here this evening. And so as I was thinking about it, we're coming here to celebrate, right? We're celebrating what we call our calendar ladies. I refer to them as our calendar models. And so what does that mean? What are they modeling? So what they model, of course, you see their beautiful pictures here, and they're looking fabulous there. And just wave your hands, all of our calendar models that are here. And they look fabulous tonight. And you'll get to hear from them in a little bit. But it's not just about the clothes they wear, because as my husband always says, clothes don't make you, you make the clothes. Now, I think he may be telling me that so I don't go shopping and buy more clothes. I'm not sure, but I do appreciate the sentiment, and it's true. It's not about what the ladies are wearing. It's about how they wear it. Their heads held high, their shoulders back a little bit, and a little bit of strut, because what it's all about is being open, being unafraid. But the other thing that we're here to celebrate with these ladies and for these ladies is a timeless quality, actually a couple of timeless qualities that they possess. One of them is transparency. If you read their stories, you will see the courage that it takes to be open and to share your story. And what I love about that, their story is not just for them, although I'm sure sometimes it was therapeutic to be able to share that story, but also in sharing their story, it let other women who were in that same situation then know that they were not alone. And that is a gift and a blessing. But the other quality that they are modeling is resilience. Because you know what? If you get knocked down 50 times, it's only when you get up 51, that's what counts. And that's what these ladies do and done. Absolutely. So when we celebrate, I just want us to embrace who and what we're celebrating as they model not just what they wear on the outside, but what they wear inside. And that is something to applaud. But you didn't come to hear from me because I'm not a model. I'm just a paid talking head. So what we want to see is some beautiful women. And I think we have 5 models. I don't know if there's a particular order, but let's start with, oh, I'm sorry, Katie, did you like? Oh, okay. Well, we'll go ahead and then we'll start with Francine. Yay, Francine.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here this evening to share my story. As this month represents Women History Month. And as I reflect over my life, have an opportunity to share my story with women and just in general with people regarding my life journey. We all have a life journey and we have a story to tell. So as I set out to maybe like 15 years ago, finishing up school and in the field of mental health and counseling, my goal was to become a licensed clinical social worker. So there was many attempts, 12 attempts in taking the exam. And doing that, times some individuals might have asked, what took so long? And life happens. That's what took so long. Experience grief and loss of loved ones. I had a time where I went from loss of income from full-time employment to part-time employment, making adjustments. And one of the things that I have learned on this journey, it makes a difference if you're in the right place with the right people to help you as you set goals and setting a time frame and with accomplishing the goals. So on my journey with going through taking the exam, coming back with the result of failure, I was inspired by Miss Katie McGill, and I recall her words to me were, it's not your responsibility that you're down. It may not be your fault that you're down, but it's your responsibility to get up. So that is so true. And like I was saying, being in the right place with the right people, with setting my goal was really important. And when I went from working part-time, started working part-time, I took advantage of going to Dress to Success, doing volunteer work, taking advantage of employment skills where I had my resume critique, I had mock interviews, talking with individuals, and that was really inspiring. And then I had the opportunity to connect with other women. Also, along with Dress to Success, I joined the Professional Women Group. There are a lot of support, women on fire, setting goals, entrepreneurship, and just to see these ladies doing great things and just, it was like a sisterhood. Look forward to coming together on a monthly basis and just encouraging one another. So with all of that support, and just going through Dress to Success, and I accomplished my goal back in 2020. I passed the exam. Now I'm a licensed clinical social worker. And I must admit, I felt like giving up. I second-guessed myself. Maybe this is not what I'm supposed to do. Maybe this is not what I'm supposed to do, but it was my goal. It was my heart desire. During that process, I also received support from family, encouraging me not to give up. And with that, I'm so glad I didn't give up. I know during that process, one of my cheerleaders was my mother. She passed in 2017. And her words were, "Don't get weary doing well, because in due time you will reap the harvest if you faint not." So I knew just those words when I passed. She wasn't with me, but all dear in my heart. And I never gave up. And that's what encouragement that I give to women. Don't give up. If you have a goal, set a goal. Life's gonna happen. And how do you work around that? What I found that you work around it, being in the right place with the right people, having you a tribe. My tribe extended beyond my family. My tribe extended out to the professional women group with Dress to Success. And still part of that, looking forward to continue to be part of Dress to Success, spreading the word about women on fire. You could do great things. You don't have to. You might have obstacles that you face, but having that support, people around you, and taking advantage of, there's so many classes that's offered aside from the support groups, and that's what I find through Dress to Success. Also, what I find with the professional women group, we just not among ourselves. We look at what are the needs in the community, reaching out, helping women in the community, are seeing where there's a need, if it's children and families and things of that sort. So when we accomplish goals, let's not forget about someone else, how we could pull them up, how we can encourage them. So I say to you, thank you, and never give up. Whatever your heart desires, never give up.
There's so many nuggets of what Francine was sharing with us, and I was thinking about the song Alicia Keys sang, "This Girl's on Fire." These women are on fire. And let me just tell you, and not only is Francine on fire, she is also nimble, because she was supposed to be the last speaker, but I mixed it up. And she said, "Don't you worry, I got it. You got the words." So thank you for that, Francine. Maybe because you're modeling for my month, December. So again, thank you. So now we'll start at the beginning of the year. And so our model in January, as you can see, and I saw Miss Charlotta, please come and tell your story.
Thank you so much. So, good evening, everyone, and this is Charulata Upadhyay. Actually, first time I'm standing in front of all of you to give my small speech related to my story. And I feel a little nervous also because it's first time I'm facing so many women in front of me. And I know that you all are such a great woman, and everyone definitely have some stories in their life. But I will share this time my story, and next time I will definitely, if I have some time to sit with all of you, I will definitely listen all of your stories also. Because I know that everyone has something in their life, something going on, and sometimes they feel very nervous, frustrated, and sometimes they feel that somebody should be with them, to speak with them, to share their stories. So I'm really thankful to all of you that you all are here with me and just listening my small little story. So I'm honored to be standing here today to express my heartfelt thanks to the Dress for Success organization for the support that they provided me as I began my journey in this country as an immigrant from India. Basically, I reached US before 10 years back after marriage. So all things are new in this country for me. Nothing is new for me. My family is also in India. So sometimes I feel bored, sometimes I feel overwhelmed, sometimes I feel challenged while searching some jobs in this country. And this is very frustrated sometimes whenever you are applying with so many organizations and you are getting rejection letter every time. Every time whenever I apply with other companies, I receive rejection letters. So this makes me so much of frustrated sometimes. Oh, something going wrong with me, or I'm not doing something good with myself or something. Then one of my friends, she approached me and she told me that, why don't you go and see Dress for Success organization? Just go and reach them. Maybe they can help you for upskill your abilities, your skills, whatever you need for your job market this time. So I said, okay, I just went and I called them, and I think one lady is there, her name is Shirley. She just picked up my phone, and I said, oh, I'm just going through so many challenges this time. I'm not getting any job in this market. I think my skills are so low. So can you help me with all these things? They said, yeah, definitely. You join some program with us, some training program with us. So I said, okay, I will definitely join that training program with you. So we have got so many trainings with them, like we are joining ourselves on the Zoom calls. Sometimes they are giving us so many sessions related to the Excel sheet, or how we have to just build up our resume and all, and how we have to talk in front of everyone, how we have to give our speech in everyone. Like we are doing so many interviews and all. So I really get so much support from Dress for Success for all these things. And I was very happy that at last I just got the job, whatever I require for myself, because my background is HR. So I definitely want to do something in HR only. And through all that journey in my life, I really got support from Dress for Success. And I navigated the job market in US, and I got the job, what I dreamed for. I'm here as a recruitment specialist. I'm working with one company. It's an RPO-based company in US only. So basically, the Dress for Success gave me hope, encouragement, and a sense of belonging. You helped me build my confidence and provided me with the tools I needed to succeed in a new and unfamiliar environment. Thanks to your support, I was able to land a job that I love and I'm proud of. I'm deeply grateful for all that you have done for me and for all other women in our community, basically. Your organization empowers women to achieve economic independence and self sufficiency. You provide women with the resources they need to build a better future for themselves and for their families. As a woman, I'm always passionate about supporting other women and lifting each other up, and I'm very grateful to be part of this organization who is always there to support women, whatever background you have, but they are always with you. They always support you with so many things you want to achieve in your life. And I'm really very happy that I'm part of this organization, that I become some financial independent now, and I want to help other women also in this organization. So in conclusion, I want to express my sincere thanks to Drex for Success, Tampa Bay for everything you have done for me and for so many other women. You have made a lasting impact on my life, and I will always remember your support. To all the women out there who are facing challenges and obstacles, know that you are not alone. Together, we can support each other, uplift each other, and achieve great things together. Thank you so much.
Charlotta was talking about challenges, and I saw just today a sign that said you can't, without change, you can't spell challenge, right? And so we've seen some of the change where you talked about, oh, you were a little bit nervous. I didn't see that at all. And guess what? The more you do it, the better you get. And so next time we'll have 500 women and we'll have you speak then. So start getting ready. Start getting ready. Start getting ready. Absolutely. So next up we have Miss February, Virginia. Please come and tell your story.
Hello, I'm Virginia. I'm so happy to be able to share my story with everybody. I get very emotional when talking about Dress for Success. So the way I found Dress for Success, I was 50-something. My husband had died. I had no job. I was about to lose my apartment. I was completely overwhelmed. I did not know what to do. I started going to Workforce. It's a place, I don't know if you're familiar, it's a place in Tampa. You can use the computers. They have little flyers for things that you can participate in. And I picked up a flyer that said resume writing and interview skills. I figured it'd be a little 2-hour seminar. I had no idea it was a 6-week program called Moving Forward with Dress for Success. From the minute I walked in the room, I knew that was where I belonged. I got my mentor, Cher. She's not here tonight, but amazing women, as are all the women I've been in contact with Dress for Success. She mentored me on her own time. We met at libraries. We got all the skills. We met with companies to do mock interviews, like has been mentioned. And slowly but surely, I gained the confidence. And that was the main thing, because when I started, I had no confidence. I was just overwhelmed. And the great thing was I got interviews. I got like 2 interviews finally. I got one of those jobs, and I have been there for 4 years. I absolutely love this job. I have my own apartment. I don't worry about paying my rent. Everybody worries, but. And I just had my review, and I have to do this. It's a big company, so the reviews will say, meets expectations, and that's great, This year, I got exceeds expectation. That was actually my goal last year. And I have the opportunity at this job to mentor other people. It's awesome. I get to see them grow and help teach them what I've learned at my job. And I get to mention Dress for Success once in a while. And the main thing I want to do now is pay it forward. Because honestly, I said this at my graduation statement, but I had no idea. I was nowhere near there yet. As far as the mission statement, empowering women, you guys have all seen empowering women to achieve economic independence by providing a network of support, professional attire and development tools to help women thrive in work and life. Mission accomplished. Thank you.
It is emotional, isn't it? If you're not touched by this, you've got a really cold heart. That is emotional, and it's okay to show emotion, right? That's okay. It's awesome. And definitely, I would say, exceeds expectations. You know what? This is a common thread. If you talk to our ladies, that you'll see they've been poured into, but they want to then pay it forward. And that is, I think that requires, let's applaud just that thought is amazing, absolutely amazing. Our next story comes from Miss March Vernell. Come on, Vernell.
I enjoyed the ladies before me, their stories, and this has been first of all, I'm just so happy and so proud to be a part of this phenomenal project. Miss Katie surprised us all when she told us about the calendar, and everything just started happening like a whirlwind. It was phenomenal. And I was like, my story is nothing. But she said, no, Vernell, get in there with the calendar. And I met all these ladies, and I've spoken to them in person and heard their stories, and they are all just so amazing and encouraging and uplifting. Well, I'm Vernell King. I like just going by Vernell. I'm at the front desk office administrator. So usually I'm the one that answers the phones and take messages and do spreadsheets and whatever and make appointments, schedule appointments and things like that. And I talk about Dress for Success every day. When people come to drop off donations, I'm usually the one that'll greet them, or if they have questions, I'll tell them a little bit about Dress for Success. I'll give them a brief tour, of our boutique. And then I just get so excited, next thing you know, I'm talking and talking and talking, and I just can't stop because it is very exciting. We work very hard. I'm so happy and honored to be a part of Dress for Success. I've been with them now for about 6 years. The way I was introduced to Dress for Success, I started out, I turned my back on my home in Manhattan, New York, because I had to flee for my life and that of my 2 children from terrible domestic abuse, and my life was being threatened. So I left and fled to Florida because I had a couple of relatives down here, and things were flourishing and doing much better. I got involved in the arts. I was a resident artist for a city museum and also for a community theater, and things seemed to be going well. And then I branched up into dentistry, and I became lead dental assistant for about 35 years. And then one day, my world just crashed. I mean, the kids were all gone now, thank goodness. They're growing up and they were going their separate ways. But now I'm like in my 60s, and I'm like, oh God, what am I gonna do? Who's gonna hire somebody like me? I mean, at my age, because there was such a thing about discrimination against your age and all like that, and I was in my mid-60s almost. So I was really scared. I was devastated, and I walked away from the dental program. And I remember I cried a little, and then after approximately about a year, and my savings start depleting, I made up my mind, and thank God all my bills were paid off, but I said, okay, I had to resolve to move into my van and sleep in my car. You talk about an eye-opener. I mean, you never expect something like that to happen to you. All of a sudden to go from here and then homeless, nothing. So I piled my clothes all into the van. Thank God I had a van, so it was room enough for me to sleep and all, and had to find safe places, to park where, there wouldn't be any danger and things like that, and find safe places where I can do my hygiene and all. But I decided to go to the Career Source, Tampa Bay, on Florida and Bush Boulevard, and I would go there every day like it was a job. I'd be there when the doors open until they closed. They had to kick me out at 5 o'clock. People thought I actually worked there, So, and I was just sending out resumes with nothing, nothing, no response. And then I happened to glance over, and there was a little door that said the AARP, which is I got to remember this, I used to say it all the time, the Senior Community Service Employment Program, CSEP, okay? And it was wonderful because I was there with my peers, more senior citizens, and we had a good group, and we were helping more senior citizens to get placed for employment. I worked as a front desk administrator there under very wonderful Miss Maxine Haynes. And then after about 4 years, tenure was up and it was time to move on. Here I go again, oh God, who's gonna hire me now? And then I was told that I had to go to Moving Forward at Dress for Success. Now, I had seen Miss Katie McGill once or twice when she came to Career Source to speak. And I was always just in awe because she just gives, you gotta hear her speak, she gives such beautiful talks and memorable, and she just incites you to just wanna go out and conquer the world. So I went to Moving Forward class, and the first day I was there, I couldn't believe that the information, and I just fell in love with all the ladies, and everybody was there networking and helping each other, and Miss Shirley Bailey, and I mean, it was just wonderful, and really lifted my spirits. I felt like, wow, there's hope. I really felt hopeful now. I felt like I can go on with my life. I really felt good. So they helped me to, enhance my resume and all. And then after the program had ended, we were at our graduation. Miss Katie had given us a graduation ceremony at the end of the program. And as we were having our celebration lunch, next thing you know, she was sitting down next to me. Oh, Miss Katie. And she started talking to me, invited me to come to Dress for Success. And then she asked me if could I come back the next week. and she had given me a job. So I've been there for almost 6 years, it'll be 6 years in May, and I love it. It's gonna be, I think it's gonna be hard. It's hard. It's gonna be hard for her to get rid of me. I know I put her through her paces sometimes. She's such an innovator. I mean, I don't know if you've ever worked with such a visionary like Miss Katie. I mean, she's just everywhere, and she's got all these ideas, and everything is, the wheels are turning, and you could just see her head, just everything is spinning, and I'm going, okay, phones are ringing, people are coming, and okay, but we get it done. We got a good group of people, a small group there at Dress for Success, and it's been just wonderful. Like I said, and I love that I have the opportunity to express what Dress for Success is about. And like I said, I appreciate what Francine said, and also Chalupa, that, you know, how it gives you that feeling that you want to pass it on, you want to help the next person. And where I am at the front desk, I get to hear a lot of the stories, you know, because the women, they wanted someone to talk to and express, you know, what they're going through. So I hear some really horrible things sometimes, you know, and some women just want to take their lives. And so I have to take a deep breath and talk to them and try to encourage them. And you come on in. You're going to come to the right place because we're here for you. And it makes a difference. And they feel welcome. And, you know, we want them to feel just magnificent and believe in themselves and encourage them and empower them. And I just see it. I watch them. Once they put on a suit, they get out of whatever clothes and they put on a nice suit, all of a sudden they're standing like this, and we give them a nice new brassiere to lift and separate, and they're just like a whole new personality. So I love it. And there's been so many wonderful memories being with Dress for Success. But the best part is we have wonderful board members that work very hard, you know, to plan, and they plan the calendar along with Miss Katie to bring her vision to life. And there's only a few of us in that office, but Zenobia and Delma and Nicolette, and, you know, but we work very hard. She keeps us hopping, and it's well worth it, because when we see the manifestation of all the beautiful and wonderful things that have come about or manifested, it's just amazing, amazing. And Miss Katie's amazing. I want to thank you so much, Miss Katie, because I know sometimes she has to like give me a second look, but yeah, I know what time it is. I'm like, oh God, you know, what's next? But I'm always in awe of her and our agency, Dress for Success, because like I said, I've never met any place there. I don't think there's no place like it on earth. And we had an opportunity to have I believe it was like a conference prior to our 25th anniversary, where we got to speak to Zoom with all the women from Dress for Success around the world. So I got to talk to someone in New Zealand and Australia and England. I'm like, whoa, you know, we were all like, wow, where are you? Where are you? So it was phenomenal. And everyone there, they have the same excitement, you know, and feeling about Dress for Success in their hearts too. It's in our hearts. We just love it. We love doing what we do. And we thank everyone that's contributed, that's donated, that's participated, you know, that's been there to support us. We thank you all so very much. And thank you for letting me talk. I didn't write something down, but I appreciate it.
Well, you are awesome, Vernell. She was at the front desk the first time I went to Dress for Success to volunteer as a stylist. And so that smile is what greeted me, and it just keeps going. Even though, yes, she does need a look every now and then from Katie. But you know, I talked about, you know, the transparency. Matter of factly, well, yeah, I was homeless, and you know, I lost my job as a senior citizen. To be able to stand up here and share that with us is as if she's saying, I won the lottery. There's a lot to be learned into that. And I will just say this, Vernell, you do not look like what you've been through at all. And now we have our last model, Miss September, Karen McGinnis, who may have a prop. So do I have to sing a song? Because I will if I have to. Okay. You don't want that. Come on down. Oh, beautiful.
Thank you. I got a story to tell you about this purse. Hello, everyone. My name is Karen McGinnis. I am honored, truly honored to be here with you guys. And you guys, I always say that, guys. We're not guys, we're ladies. With you ladies tonight, and I mean that, and I'm grateful, and I think I will always say that anytime I speak, because there was a time in my life where I didn't bring much to the table, and I didn't have a lot to share. So my journey with Dress for Success, I came to Dress for Success in 2015. I was 38 years old, and I came very broken. And I was thinking how cool it is that we're in a museum tonight with all these beautiful pieces of art and all these masterpieces, and they all started with a blank canvas. And I was thinking about how when I came to Dress for Success in 2015, I had battled drug and alcohol addiction for over 2 decades. It was not great. Towards the end, there were very tangible things showing me that I was going to have a very tragic ending if I didn't get help. 10 of those years, I was in and out of treatment, and I just couldn't quite get it. Towards the end, I had a child in my addiction. I lost him twice to the Department of Children and Families before he was 2 years old because I was an unfit mother. My family wanted nothing to do with me, and I came from a very good family, and I say all the time the disease of addiction doesn't discriminate, Park Avenue to Park Bench. I'm sure if everyone in this room might raise their hand if I ask the question, do you or someone you know have been affected by drug or alcohol addiction? So anyhow, at 38 years old, I came to a point in my life where I said to myself and to my higher power, I don't want to live like this anymore. I don't want to live like this anymore. Take my life. Do with me what you will. If you want to put me in prison the rest of my life, I don't care what it looks like. I just don't want to do this. I've given everything away from this disease. I've given a good husband. My family wants nothing to do with me. And I'm about to lose the only thing I've ever done perfect, this little 2-year-old child. So for the last time, I had a small apartment, and I had a girlfriend of mine come and take pictures of everything in my apartment and put it on a Facebook page, free, take it. I packed 1 suitcase, and I went to treatment for the very last time. Now, as I was there in treatment, I was getting all the clinical stuff I needed to really get down to the root causes of the disease of addiction, trauma from childhood, and all these other things. Well, it came to a point where I was able to start getting back into the workforce. And in my addiction, I had always managed to have pretty decent jobs. I was an executive aide for the director of the City of Tampa Water Department. I worked for Verizon. I managed 50 people. So I had all these wonderful skill sets, but I could never keep the jobs because I would end up getting drunk or whatever, you know. So anyhow, so I went to treatment for the very last time. And I started, I think 3 months into it, I got into a phase where I could start going back to work. And I was reintroduced to Dress for Success Tampa Bay. So I went in, and I remember walking through the doors of the boutique in West Tampa, and the women there were just so well put together and well-rounded, and you know, they were able to suit me and give me a couple of different outfits and give me some interviewing tips on how to get back into the workforce, because you have to remember, by this time, I had been in abusive relationships. I was told by my family, you're worthless, you'll never amount to anything. I had a lot of shame, a lot of guilt, and I walked around like a puppy dog with my tail between my legs because I wasn't good enough. I believed I wasn't good enough. That's not the case today. I've really turned my life around because I do surround myself with positive women who encourage me and let me know you bring so much value to the table. So anyhow, I went through Dress for Success. They were able to suit me and give me interviewing tips, and I ended up and remember I said when I went to treatment this last time, I walked in there with 1 suitcase. And I had, of course, stored all of Owen's things, you know, scrapbooks from when he was a baby and all of that. So I had nothing to go back into the workforce. So I remember they gave me this Donald J. Pliner leather bag purse, and I loved that purse so much. And I'll get, and it actually, I don't have it anymore. But anyways, I'll kind of go into that a little bit more. But when I look at this picture of me, this calendar, I remember where I was that day. And I don't mean physically, I mean, I remember where I was that day. That was taken on a Saturday. 2 weeks prior to that, on a Thursday like this, I got home from work. I have full custody of Owen now, he's 10. I skipped a little bit. I got home from work, we went to Chick-fil-A, I put him in bed. He said, Mommy, I don't want to sleep with myself tonight. I said, you're a big boy, you gotta stop sleeping with Mommy. I walked out, went to my bedroom at 10:30 at night. My boyfriend, who had fallen asleep on the couch, screamed, Karen, wake up, the house is on fire, call 911. And I woke up and the house was not simply a little on fire, it was fully engulfed. Owen was trapped in his bedroom. I couldn't get through to him. I ran around to the side of the house. I did everything to bust the window out with a wrought iron chair. All I could hear, the whole house was on fire except for his bedroom. And all I could hear him saying was, Mommy, Mommy, Mommy. And then eventually the mommy got fainter and fainter as he passed out. I was very ignorant to house fires. I didn't know people breathed in the smoke and then they passed out and then they perished in the fire. He was seconds away from dying that night. And just in the nick of times, in a moment of seconds, 2 Hillsborough County Sheriff's officers happened to see shed fire a mile away, and they showed up and they realized quickly that the house was not a shed fire. Like, still to this day, I can't watch the body cam footage. So within seconds, they were able to bash through the window, pull Owen out, and he spent the next 2 weeks in the ICU at Tampa General Hospital in the burn unit. And guess who was there for me to support me, encourage me, pray for me? Just for Success Tampa Bay. And the reason I say that is because a lot of people think, oh, these ladies go in here and they get suited up, they get interview skills, and then they go out to work. No, these ladies have followed me. The organization has followed me and been with me through all of my ups and downs, you know, early in my recovery, all the way up until now, my house burned down. And it's just a wonderful thing. You know, I was talking with another individual that's on the calendar that was coming tonight, and she said, are you gonna have any of your family, your friends with you? And I always joke and I say, the healthier I get in my recovery and the more spiritual and the more like spiritually fit I get, I'm like, golly. You know, I used to be the misfit in the family, the black sheep, and now the healthier I get, I'm realizing my family's kind of dysfunctional. And like, maybe I wasn't so bad after all, and maybe y'all were the reason I drank. So, but I was telling her, I said, no, in fact, I invited my mom and dad, and they showed no interest whatsoever to come here and support me. And that's okay. I've made peace with it. They're not extremely happy people, but they're in my life again, and that's most important. You know, my mom and dad are in my life. And Maddie's here with me. Maddie's supporting. So what I'm talking about is that we have such a sisterhood in this. You know, I think someone had mentioned it before. Sometimes we don't, our immediate family, our family is not our immediate family. And I feel so blessed to be able to pick up the phone and call multiple people in this organization, you know, and be able to connect and have that relationship. So I think that's pretty cool. So along my journey, so I started out, I got to a point where I was like, you know, I've been in treatment facilities from here to West Palm Beach, state-funded private facilities, for the last 10 years. I know everything there is to know about treatment, and I've got all these corporate skill sets. Why can't I go work in the field of substance abuse and give back so freely what was given to me, and my life was spared, you know? And this disease is progressive, it's permanent, it's predictable, and it will result in premature death if not treated. And there's a lot of, you see it on the news all the time. So what better person than people like myself to go and work in that field? So I did. So a year into my recovery, I started working for a small facility called Healthcare Connection of Tampa that caters specifically to doctors, nurses, lawyers who were in jeopardy of losing their license to practice because of substance abuse. So I started out as a little clerical position, and I kind of observed and watched, and you know, I grew, and I ended up getting promotion after promotion, and now I work for American Addiction Centers. We have treatment facilities all over the United States. I place people in treatment. That's what I do for a living. So I'm a peer support. I'm working on becoming a certified interventionist and Dress for Success and the Women in well-rounded, respectable woman. You know, like, I was not a pleasant person 8 years ago when I was out in the streets. But okay, so I, you know, I really appreciate I appreciate you allowing me to be transparent about my story, because there's still a stigma behind substance abuse. You know, shame-based, you're a bad person, I can't believe you lost your son. Well, no, I did, but I turned my life around, and I'm a really good mom today, and I love him to pieces, and, you know. So I wanted to share the story. So my favorite purse that they gave me, you know, for the first couple of years of my recovery, I would take the Heartline, and I would ride the bus, and this purse got weather worn and all kinds of stuff, and then it ended up burning in the fire, of course, so I don't have that purse anymore, which was always very special to me, that purse. So yesterday we were at an event, and Miss Katie said to me, she saw my purse, and she goes, "That's a fancy purse." And I said, "I know, Miss Katie." I said, "I went to Macy's to buy something specific," and I walked by purses, and it's this new white Brahmin leather collection with big travel bags and makeup bags, and I was like, "That's pretty." You know, and the lady said, "Well, would you like to look at that?" So I'm like, "Yeah, sure," and I was touching it, rubbing it, and smelling it. And I said, "Thank you so much." And I walked out, and in my mind, I go, "You don't need that. You can't afford that. You don't need that." And I'm walking out, and I get to the exit door, and I go, "You know what? You do deserve that. You can't afford that. And you need to go back and buy that. And you need to buy the duffel bag." So I get to the counter, and the lady says, "Would you like to open a Dillard's credit card?" Dillard's credit card, and I go, "Yeah, let's do that." And she goes, "Okay, you're approved." And I said, "Great, thanks." And I say that because when I came into Dress for Success 8 years ago, my credit was a 420. And as a result of the things that the ladies have taught me about economic stability and just the woman that I've become today, I've really worked on my credit score to get it over a 700. I'm a first-time homeowner. Owen is thriving, and my parents love me to pieces, although I think they're dysfunctional sometimes. So I'll call them right now and go, "You're missing out on a big Tommy and Dodie, you're missing it out." So yes, I'm really grateful to be here, because I feel like, I don't know where all you are with your spirituality, your higher power, and I have to be mindful when I talk about this, but I really believe that my higher power allowed me to go through what I went through for over 2 decades to be able to go back and help the masses. And for that, I'm grateful, and I couldn't have done it without Dress for Success and the network of women that kind of steered me in the right direction to be the woman I am today. So thank you for letting me share.
Isn't it nice to feel that you deserve what you want? To feel that you deserve it. And that starts here, right? To deserve it. 20 years of substance abuse. Again, and we went to lunch about 2 weeks ago, and I told Karen, I said, "You definitely do not look like what you've been through either, at all." And that was just amazing. Well, we have actually 2 other calendar models who I think are going to share a few words with us. One who I just toured the dolly with. And so I want to get the month right, though. Miss May, Cynthia.
My story is a little different. I want to start way back. My parents had 8 girls. I'm the baby out the 8. And my father had a 3rd grade education, and he was born on a plantation, and his brothers, he had 16 brothers and 4 sisters, and he had to work. But they moved to Tampa, Florida, out of Monticello, Florida. And his thing was he wanted us to go to school. So without knowing anything about reading, he knew numbers. And I say that because they thrive for us to be successful. They put all of us through college. And with me being the baby out the 8, my parents taught us that we had to do what the oldest one said. So I had a lot of counselors and bosses that told me everything, and now I am the boss of all of them. And I'm loving it, and I love it too. And I say that because I met Katie through another young lady on my job, and I was working for the health department, and she said, let's go and see what it's about. So we did, and I just looked at that lady, I said, she is just wonderful. You know, I just kept talking about Katie to my sisters and everybody, and it was just amazing, the things that I was looking at her. I said, now, how she know all of that? I used to always say, she is doing so much, and I just love it. So anyway, with me, I did have my a job. Prior to the job, I had a store in Ybor City that I started the African clothing store. And I ventured out to sell clothes from all over the world. And that was not good because it was not made for me, because back then they called them skinheads, had destroyed my store 4 times. And my 14-year-old says, that's it, no more. So that's when I went to working for the health department. But I just want to say this about me. And what Dress for Success has done for me is that it has empowered me to be Katie. I love finding people who's gonna donate things to Katie. I know they get tired of me coming in there. One time we had so many shoes, I didn't know what to do. This one lady from Land O'Lakes gave us all her corporate clothing. Shoes, I think I had, maybe 100 pairs of shoes. Some were not even worn. Jewelry, clothing, you name it. And that was, and I went with another young lady, because I'm a member of the American Legion post on Kennedy and Del Mabry. And one of my jobs is to be a community service person. So who do I give all of my community service to is Katie. And sometimes I know they say, what else she's gonna bring in here? But I bring a lot to the center. And because of the fact, I am so much like Katie. If you got it, I could take it to her and they can use it. And that's one of the things that I really love. I had the opportunity to go to another country, and that opened up my eyes to many, many things. And I went to Belize, because I heard Belize was supposed to be a good place, you have fun and all of that. I didn't see that. I went on a mission, and that mission focused and made me understand right now what my job is. I'm retired now from the health department, and my job now is to do community service. And my service is really serving the community. I don't care what the situation is or whatever. If Katie is not like my mom, and I think that's why I keep going back, because I can't do nothing but do community service. My sisters think I'm crazy. And one of them said, no, that's her. She has done that all her life, and this is what she wants to do. And the other ones, sometimes they get jealous, you know, but I'm the boss, and they smile. And I just want to say, I'm just so happy. I'm so happy to be part of this organization, because it has done more things for me in my life than I could have ever imagined. I told one of the young ladies that I wanted to be the first female astronaut. Really, I graduated and my degree was in chemistry, and I wanted to be the first one, but I didn't have anyone to push me, you know, but I'm being the astronaut right now, and that's serving for Dress for Success, and I'm just grateful.
Even if Cynthia does not get launched into space, she's ready, because she didn't know she would be speaking to you, all of you today. So I'm gonna give you a hand for that as well, Cynthia. Thank you, thank you. And we have one other model who is here with us, Tina. Miss April, come on up, Tina.
Hello, ladies. It is such an honor to be here today. As usual, I told Miss Katie again. I'm a little behind time. I actually left early today because I was so excited about being here with you all. These ladies, and I knew that as soon as I walked away, my phone was going to go off, and I meant to turn it off. Sarah, please, can you take my light right? I'm thankful for today because I'm not who I used to be. I am not down on the bottom with nothing, homeless, without, not knowing where to go or how to get there. Now, I can tell you all day long how to comb your hair, how to put your shoes on, how to be able to do what you want to do. On the contrary, if I don't show you how to do it, it's not happening, is it? And that's what Miss Katie did for me. Miss Katie, she's amazing. She is ironically rare because there's so few people that has the heart that she has. And I said, Miss Katie, I'm gonna grow up to be just like you one day. I may not cut my hair, but when I tell you, and I had to lay that little groundwork down because I wanted you all to know. And I'm gonna try to make this as basic as possible because I'm very long-winded. Ain't that right? Okay. Yes. I started off doing drugs, running behind people that I knew nothing about, trying to find somewhere. As a teenager, I ran the streets, and I'm going to get a little ghetto for those who know a little ghetto-ish. I ran with the dope boys, hung with less fortunate women, and I became a fighter. And I know you probably can't tell it now, but they worked pretty good for me. On the contrary, they worked a little too good for me, and it got me in trouble. And I'm not ashamed to say that trouble became my prosperity. I went to prison at 17 years old. I did 36 years in prison. What? 36 years. From 17 to 52. Count it up. I promise you, I know my math now. And it's a good thing because I had to know what I know in order to be where I am and who I am today. So, to make a long story short, I took 36 years in prison, and I kicked butt, and I walked around, and I tried to act like I was the boss. I was hurting inside. I was lonely. I never had a baby. I never had a husband. I never had a dog that was my own. My mom and dad, of course, was the owners of them, the dogs that I did have, and they kept giving them away. So there again, I never had anything. So going to the age of 52, when I was released from prison in 2017, I said, doggone it, my mom's gone, my dad's gone, I've never had a baby, I've never been married, I never had a driver's license, I never had my own place to stay. Today, to make a long story short, I have all those things and then some. All those things. And like Karen said, by the grace of God, God of my understanding, I've been out of prison for 5.5 years. I would have never thought that I would look like this. Nobody picked this for me. I did. And I feel spectacular. Not because I'm at the Dahlia Museum, I guarantee you. And it's not because of some of the things that's happened since I've been out of prison. But it's because people like Miss Katie, like Karen, like Cynthia, the ladies that I often don't even have contact with unless we have an event. But those ladies stick in my mind, they stick in my heart, because I know what it's like to be homeless. I know what it's like to lose. I know what it's like to need confidence and not have it, but someone came into my life. And I'll tell you what made me remember Miss Katie. She came to the prison that I was at. It was a faith-based prison, and I wanted to get something going for my life, so I became a GED teacher. I said, if I don't learn nothing else, I'm going to learn education, because if I got education, then my life is going to be, what do you call it? Insurmountable. And some people don't even know what that word is, but when I found out, I used it every day. So like everything else, that became habit for me. If I learn something, I use it. If I learn something, I share it. If I get something, I divide it. But that became my character. I started seeing that when I do that, even when I didn't want to do that, my being became who I am. And I give it away every day. Every day. So when I first got out of prison, I went through a program. In that program, within 6 months, I had my first car. Within the next 6 months, I met my husband. We got married. I've been married 5 years. We're the same man. And he still likes me. And I'm like, yes, girl, I'm in. So I share this life, and my husband loves it. None of those 18, well, not anymore. I kind of took him away from that, but and going through all of this, Miss Katie, I've never told her this, but she also taught me to be a leader. And so in being a leader, I realized I have the character to pull people, but not by hair. But I learned to pull people by the character. So now I have 2 cars, a Ford Escape, a blue Ford Escape, and a Chevy Equinox. My husband says to me, I said, you know, I won a new car last year for April. And he said, well, go get you one. I was like, what? Okay. And guess what? I got a Ford Chevy Equinox. And it is so cute. I take it to the car wash every day. If I'm going to be cute, my stuff's got to be cute. Okay, wait a minute. I was supposed to go like this when I said that. I'm supposed to be cute, right? So the thing is that it's not always what you have, it's what you obtain. Oh, sorry. When I got the cars, it was good. I got my husband, it was better. I got my first apartment, and I spent 2 months by myself in that apartment. And I was scared. I was like, man, you know, this is why I'm a high person. You need some company. So he came into my life and started working together. I see he had a plan, and I wanted it. So I got me a job as a temp downtown guy. So now, not only do I feel like I have something to work for, I felt like I had some plans laid out, and I started making better choices. I started seeing the people that I was hanging around with and saying, you know, they might benefit me, but it's not just about them benefiting me, because I was ready to reciprocate. Good word, huh? It's hard to remember that. But not only was I able to build the character that I have and continue with connection with Miss Katie and the ladies that have been faithful to building me up, I am now the manager of what is soon to be my own store. I believe in myself now. When I first started out, I was like, am I going to be good enough? Am I going to be tall enough? Am I going to be cute enough? Am I going to be sexy enough? Is that one right? On the contrary, enough is never enough. So when I go for my own store, I have to do it. I got to get a new car. So when I remember Miss Katie, I want y'all to know, we always, no matter who you're around or who you're with, you take something away when you're going to change someone. I'm not going to take your necklace, but I think it's beautiful. Guess what? I will remember your face forever because of that beautiful outfit you have on, and that necklace is kind of, and I was like, oh, maybe my necklace is bad. But I'm okay. I like it on here, okay? But my thing is my husband says, you talk so much, are you ever gonna stop talking? I'm like, if I stopped talking, we wouldn't have this business. Because when people come in, the first thing I say, the name of our shop is called Dolce. And for those of you who know Spanish, it means sweet. So when people come in, I give them a laugh. We fill their tummy, and when they walk out, they say, sweet. That's what I'm talking about. So if I wasn't who I am and didn't have all this boisterous energy that I do share, I wouldn't have what I have. So whoever you are, wherever you're at, don't look down. Look up. Because when you look up, you see positivity, you see clarity, you see potential. You see that you can be somebody, whether you're by yourself or not. When I was alone, I was like, I gotta have somebody. But now that I'm with my husband, I'm like, I need to get this sweater off. You know? So it's all wonderful, and I have to constantly remind myself. You know, people tell you, or maybe you might have heard that you have to continuously renew your mind. You have to continuously think new things, plan new things, lay new plans to get to the next step. And that's what I have done. And because of that, not only am I a manager, not only do I want to buy the store that I'm at over by the airport in Tampa, there is another shop that the owner of the shop that I'm at now is opening up, and she has already given me, let me eat that one. She's already given me a heads up that she's going to sell me that store. So not only do I have potential to get another store, I'm going to get another one. And my husband says, he's 6'5", right? So he puts his hand right here on my head and he says, slow up, ladybug. And I said, okay. I said, I'll sit down for a minute. Let me get you up first. So, but Miss Katie, I don't know, how long has it been, Miss Katie, since you have showed off how to do your, I know, you know it's a tag. It's a tag. She taught me 9 different ways to wear a scarf. You can wear it as a headband, you can wear it as a shawl, you can tie it around your waist, you know, hold it down. That was only 3. I know I had to stop counting for a minute so I could gather myself again. But when Miss Katie did that, I'm trying to remember what year that was. It had been at least 3 to 4, maybe 5 years, right, Miss Katie, since I got out from that time when I met you. I met her in prison. I never thought I was going to get out of prison. And when I did, the first thing I thought was, Miss Katie might help me. And she did. She went above and beyond helping me. She helped me get my first apartment. She helped me get my first dress, my first 3-piece suit. She showed me how to dress. And that's what Dress for Success is about. You know, when I see somebody else, they have some cute shoes on, I say, I'm gonna have to borrow that left one because I'm right-footed. So when Miss Katie does stuff, she does it unconsciously. Like you said, Miss Katie's always on the go, always on the run. But she never fails to take the phone call. She never fails to say, Tina, I'm gonna get you a business professional director to help you with your business. So that you will know, so that you will be able to handle your business properly. Never in my life have I ran my own business. But for the past 3 months, guess what? They call me captain. The boss would say, okay, you're the boss. No, I'm not the boss, but I am the captain of the ship. So she started calling me captain. So, you know, along life's path, on the journey that you go through, I wish that all of you would find what I found. And I have no reason to complain. None. I could, because last August I had cancer. And after doing 36 years in prison and losing my mom and my dad, and never having any of the things that most people had by the time they reached 35, I had already not had everything everybody had. But I wanted it. So when I got out and I got cancer, I was so broken hearted, and I wanted so bad to say, why? But then I asked myself, why say why? Look what you've been through. Look what you've gone through. Look what you've made it through. And by looking at it from that perspective, say, I'm not going to let this override me, because nothing happens. I live this day. Nothing happens. If you don't take nothing else away with you, please know, nothing happens without the God of your understanding allowing it. And he allows it, maybe not for our own good, maybe it's for the good of the others. Maybe it might help somebody else that's going to go through that's not going to be able to take it the way I did. Because I still help people that's coming out of prison, because I know what it's like to be here. I help them, I take them shopping, I take homeless women and men into my house with the third room that we have, and we let them live there free. Because I know what it's like not to have a place to live. And we take them to work, we give them a job, we feed them, and we make sure that they're on their way. And as soon as they give us an opportunity and show us that they're going to mess up, they're out of here. Because as much as fun as I like to have, and as much as I like to laugh and give everybody a piece of the joy that I've been given, I can be that serious too. Because it's about handling your business. And your business is really nobody else's business until you get business. So you got to get it first, okay? And if there's anything that I can step into the front of to help somebody out, whether it's him, whether it's his kid, or whether it's my husband, no matter what it is, I put myself aside a lot of times. Because you know why? It's worth it to me. Because I've already been without. And now that I have so much, it doesn't matter what I give you, because guess what? I didn't have it once upon a time. So now it's a glorious thing to be able to do that. But I come representing Dress for Success because even though they didn't give me this dress, they gave me this look. I was supposed to be like this. I was supposed to be like this. I have a love in my heart for ways that I don't have for most people. Even though I love people, I love what people do for me, and that is to give me the smiles you get, right? Thank you, I think that's all. Thank you, Cynthia, I appreciate that one too. And for most people that know Spanish, they say, I tell them my favorite words is, no juego conmigo. And I say it like that because, see, she laughs, she knows what I'm saying. And I say that like that because it's not a negative thing, it's positive. Don't mess with me, because it's like you get this right here, I can turn around and say, I have to let you go. That's about making a choice to either accept it or reject it. And because of that, I have made such good choices that my choices could become your choices, because I like to be an example. If I can be an example to help you, not just look cute, but, not just grow your hair, not just how to wrap a scarf around you, but to be a woman of worth. To be a woman that's worth something, that's worth millions and miles of smiles. I'm here for you. And because of that, I thank you for letting me be here with you.
Well, I think we could say that was sweet. Absolutely. Well, again, you got, I hope, just a little flavor of Dress for Success from these women's stories. We've had, I don't know about you, but I've had some tears. We also had a lot of laughs, right? Yes. And that's what it's all about. And that we were able to do it together, that they shared their stories with us, and it was inspiring and encouraging, and kind of funny sometimes as well. But, Dress for Success certainly We don't do it alone. Right in the back is one of our fabulous board members, Tanya Cielo. So as we wrap up this program, I'm going to turn it over to someone who really needs no introduction, but I have to say just a few words about someone you've heard a lot about, or those of you who maybe don't know who Katie McGill is. The unofficial mayor of Tampa. And so, as a matter of fact, she was actually with the mayor of Tampa just last night, as a matter of fact, who knows Katie by name, of course. But, you know, Katie is her title is executive director. Those two words don't even begin to explain who she is and what she does. Dress for Success is not a job for Katie. It's a mission. That's why she's doing it sometimes 7 days a week, from early to late. When I called, I said, is this another day where you're on skates? Well, that's every day, actually, for Katie. And so I look, for those of you who don't know this, I'll also share this about Katie. Dress for Success in Tampa, we've been here, we're celebrating our 25th year this year. Well, the founder of Dress for Success Tampa Bay, Pat Ellington, when she decided to step down and give her baby, and that's what she called it, her baby to someone else, she said she went and not found, but stole Katie McGill from where she was. But I think that was a theft that needed to happen. And we're not pressing any charges. And so Katie has been here about 15 years, and what she has done is amazing. You can't say Dress for Success Tampa Bay and not, it's almost synonymous with Katie McGill. Because everywhere she goes, her heart, you can see it, you can feel it. She's just one of a kind. So please help me welcome the unofficial mayor of Tampa.
Oh my goodness. I am speechless, I'm telling you. Thank y'all so much. I really appreciate it. And I thank the ladies for sharing their stories. I know their stories inspire me. And I'm so thankful. I come up with some crazy ideas sometime and yes, she's saying yes. And I'm so thankful that we, have a board that support some of the crazy ideas. And one of the ideas was the calendar, because I know so many women's stories that, have walked through our doors and I have worked with. And I just wanted the world to know that they have made so many accomplishments, and I'm so proud of y'all. And I see all of them giving back. They, we empower them, and now I see them empowering other women. And I am so thankful. I am thankful to be in this opportunity to serve. And I could not do it by myself. We have 5 staff members, like Vernell said, and we have a host of volunteers. And I could not do this work. It's no way. But I am thankful that I have a board that believe in a lot of my crazy ideas. And I said, we need to try to do this. And, and it have been very successful. And to be able to walk in someone's office last week, and I'm about to cry, and to see the calendar on a person wall that I didn't even know. And she said, I saw Dress for Success and I had to buy this calendar. And she said, when y'all making another? I done read everybody's story. She said, I have it on the calendar. And then another lady called me and said that she bought one for her break room. And every time she go in the break room, she thought the staff would read one. And she said, every time I go in the break room, it's gone. She said, somebody have it in the desk trying to read. So she said, I need to buy 15 more. And that's what I am so happy that the calendar have done, because all of us have a story. And I think we have to share stories with women. That's what empowers. I grew up with a very low self-esteem, pregnant at 15. And if I didn't read at that time, I too embarrassed to talk about a lot of stuff. But I remember going to the library reading women's stories. And that's what inspired and encouraged me. And I say, one day I want to be able to help, because they inspired me. So I thank y'all for taking the time out for being here to listen to the story. I really appreciate it. It means the world to me. Thank you so much.